Okay, well, we're just going to take you through the test rig here. There's a battery, there's a flamping great power supply which acts effectively like an alternator in a car. There's a head unit. The wires come out the back of the head unit, and you can see that silvery connection. That's going to the main input of that there amplifier. That's a JL Audio XD 400/4. You can see to the right hand side of that, well, there's an auxiliary pluggy-do coming out just by that phone thing, which is just in the middle of your picture, and that goes down to this panel, and this is the bit that I'm so jealous of. It's got 12 volt switching on there for various power supplies to different things. 12 volt power supply to the amplifier we just looked at. Amp power is for the test bench amp that we're going to be using for testing bigger things. 12 volt accessory will be another power point over on the wall there, and then finally we've got the 12 volt socket. So that's your 12 volt socket you can turn on and off. There's this power here, because on this here test bench, there's also a little voltmeter. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you, while we're testing that caliber thing, poor John, I flustered him to the point where I think we put the wires the wrong way around and popped the fuse, which means the fuse did exactly its own job. The caliber beast was doing exactly as it should. But here on this bit in the middle of the bench here, this is a JL Audio RD 500/1. This is one of the amplifiers we're going to be looking at today. How many different monoblock amps do you guys offer? Because there's lots, aren't there?
Well, there is quite a lot. What we're looking at today is the under 500 watts, so I've got 10 in total.
10 different monoblock amplifiers under 500 watts. That's got to be an application for absolutely everybody, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoa. So, tell us about this one here. This is the NextD RD 500.1 monoblock. We're looking at a pre-out output from it, as well as a regular stereo input as well. What's specific about this one, John? Talk to me. Tell me about this thing. Tell us about this section over here.
One of the main things on this product, it's probably one of the most over-engineered products that I've seen. A lot of the technology from the XD range has gone into the NextD. It's a fabulous amplifier. We've got a lot of new features on there. One of the great new features, as you just said on here, is the clip light. So when we're setting amplifiers up, we don't have to use the multimeters anymore, as you should do. With that, it's got a clip light, so we can just play of 50 Hz tone, play at 3/4 volume from the head units, turn the gain control up, which is not a volume control, to match the voltage from the source unit. When the light comes on, back it up a little bit, and then it's set up perfectly.
All the way until it goes ouch, and then turn the ouch.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Fascinated. The sound engineer in my soul, though, would love to have a word with Mr. Lucio Proni and say, so Lucio, where have you set that clip light?
Yes.
Exactly. On Pro Audio, there's a very specific moment.
Yeah.
However, for musicians and car audio people, I suspect Lucio might be a couple of dB down, so that when the light lights up, you're still not probably distorted, I betcha. Because there's always going to be some idiot that wants to run the little light tinkling away there, and Lucio wouldn't want his product to sound nasty there. But that's a bit of insider political ruminating that we will never ever get the answer to. One thing you do know is that JL Audio kit just sounds so very, very good, it wins competitions. So do we know off the top of our head how much this particular one is, or is that a cruel question to ask you without even rehearsing and asking?
Yes, it is a cruel question.
It's a cruel question.
I'm technical, not sales.
Fair dues. Well, we're going to be having a look at a few of these amps, so all right, here's a technical one. There's 12 decibels of bass boost available. What frequency is that centered at, dear boy? Fiend. 45 Hertz is normal. I'll have to check that one as well. So you turn on mode offset, signal, or remote. You can have it use the blue, take it from your wanted wire.
Yes.
You can have it sense it from the signal.
Yeah.
And voltage offset, that just when it goes on the power, it just turns itself on.
No. A lot of people think that's a misconception on there.
Good. Educate me.
Basically, you on your signal wire,
Yeah.
you've got a DC voltage,
Uh-huh.
and it senses that.
Ah.
The beauty with DC offset against signal sensing
Yes.
is it's a lot more instant. Signal sensing tends to have a slight delay on there,
The music's playing before it hears it.
but with DC offset, it's a lot more instant.
As the Japanese would say,
there's
Sode's car. cool is that? That's awesome.
There's more and more cars now,
Yes.
if we're fitting into original equipment,
Yes.
where they don't have an ignition supply or a remote supply to switch amplifiers on.
So this is about better integration with OEM systems.
It is, yes.
So last techie question then. Okay, we haven't got all the prices touched on, but where is this in the range? Is this the top end, the middle of all those different products?
This is our second to entry level.
So there's some serious tech involved, but you can still spend less and go a little bit less
Yes.
expensive.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go and get hold of some prices of some other products. Righty ho. Now, those of you who don't know much about audio might be wondering, what the hell do you need 300 or 250 or 500 or 600 watts of bass for anyway in a car? Well, I can tell you that the subwoofer effect, it obtains always if you add substantial low frequency capability to a sound system. The whole sound system sounds better. The mids and tops are given a lease of life, the like of which is not doable just by giving them more power. And this effect never goes away. I was once shown a demonstration, or rather allowed to hear a demonstration at Bowers & Wilkins with their DB1 subwoofer. What they did there was to play a piece of organ music through well, a fairly ordinary small pair of speakers. They then turned on their subwoofer and there was no boom boom bang crash, but what there was a sensation of space. You suddenly felt you were inside a cathedral. Now this works all the way up to and including rock and roll gigs. I can tell you that because my mate, Big Mick the Metal Overlord, that's his big secret with Metallica's sound. Where Glastonbury had 21 subwoofers under the stage, they insisted on 63, which is why it flaming rocked. Now, just heaving into view to my right is Mr. John Griggs. John, have you got a whole list of prices of these yet or not?
I have, yes, I've got everything.
Oh, dude. Now, the point is that these come in lots of different varieties and lots of different sizes. Shall we start with the littlest one, which might be, in price, I imagine, would that be the Kicker DXA 250.1 here?
That's it, yes.
That improves, I know, a little bit. 500 watts peak. Tell us a little bit about that one there. How much is one of them?
That one retails at £164.99.
So, 165 quid less a penny. And it's, well, those 500 peak weighted watts are going to be a whole lot more meaningful than some of the horrible little brands from the stupid electronics shop. Works with any radio. Basically, it's got lots of inputs. So take line input and speaker input.
We've got something very special to tell you about on those.
Tell me.
Basically, with the Kicker amplifiers, we use what's called fit technology.
Right.
It allows us to go what is called high level input directly into the RCA.
Right.
So basically, your high level is your speaker line.
Yes.
This is allowing us to do a lot more OEM integration with the products.
So no matter how many watts are going up, you don't have to go, you just plug it the heck in.
You plug it in, so you don't need a high level, low level converter. Ideally, what you'll use is another product from Kicker called the Kicker Kissel.
But that which enables these things to...
It's a very simple product.
Oh, you've got it over. And here's one I prepared earlier. We didn't know we were doing this. Again, totally unrehearsed all day. Oh, wow. It's just...
It's an RCA with speaker wire on the end. And it just makes life so easy.
Just plug it on in. Okay. Now, the DXA 500.1, is that the same product with more muscle, I take it?
Yeah, you did say on the DXA 250. That is 250 peak.
Yes.
On the 500, obviously we're 500 peak at 2 ohm.
Yes. And but you're saying peak as in, but that's a solid power. The numbers on a four-way there. The next one up from that is a CXA 300.1. This is described as a high efficiency subwoofer amplifier. I take it it's or how much is? Oh, sorry. How much is the 500.1?
The 501.
165 quid. That's a penny for that one.
So you have
DXA 500.1 from Kicker is. And the price list here
is £234.99.
So it's significantly less than. That's one of those things. It's only that extra chunk for doubling the power. But why would you buy the 600 watt max one then? Just because it's got a bit more juice again, or it looks as different form factor looking at the little picture on the box there.
Yes, it's basically we have two ranges in what we call the yellow range.
Yes.
There
in
are
same with the speakers, right?
slight few feature benefits.
Yes.
One is the main one is how the unit actually mounts, so we can mount it vertically. We can change the sockets on there.
So it's a little bit more expensive ironmongery in terms of flexibility for installation.
That's right,
It's getting a bit more sophisticated there. So what would be the next one up? I guess this kicker KXA 400.1 with phase clip. What's the SHOC?
That is the subharmonic octave creation.
Oh my word! That's what other people in other businesses have been described as an epicenter.
Exactly, yes.
Or the DBX 1000 XDS from DBX, known as the bass box in Pro Audio, where it doesn't add EQ. It listens to it, hello, and then adds more bass in of a different frequency. So that's... Well, you can't use other people's brand product, but that is a bass synthesizer as well as big brutal amplifier.
That's correct. That's built into all of our monoblocks on the on that range of amplifiers, and also the 5-channel as well.
Oh, what? So you can buy a full system amplifier and still get a bass booterator in your...
The other great thing with that remote control is it is actually completely wireless.
Oh no!
It is Bluetooth.
Oh, you flash Herberts.
So you can mount that anywhere you want to, and you can actually link up to 4 amplifiers.
Wireless remote control included, 4 bass amps. Dial it in. You want to hear Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, because there's a frequency in that which is easily divisible into this huge fat bass. 9 to 5. Yeah, it's not grown up, but I know about that. Meanwhile, the IQ 500.1 from Kicker, that looks... Well, that's Q class, as against most of these which have been class D, meaning you don't have to use a lot of electricity in it, don't have to thump the bass, but Q class, what on earth is Q class?
Q class is, basically this is our high-end range. That has got a built-in DSP.
Ooh, hello. Standing for digital signal processor. It's got a better than 95 decibel A-weighted re-rated power signal to noise ratio, which is a long-winded posh way of saying it's really, really hi-fi. It's as crisp as my microphone. Wow. So you've got 31 band EQ. There's a 31 band equalizer in there.
Yep.
Oh, how much was that acoustic thing you used to have to buy to get a 31 band equalizer in your car? Or 2 EQTs, yes. 375 from Audio Control, the company who also made the bass synthesis product. Wow. Oh. Variable low pass crossover, 40 to 180 hertz, 24 dB per octave. Well, you can adjust the center frequency of your bass boost up to 18 dB between 24 hertz and 80 hertz. Pardon me. So that's the EQ plus. That's a parametric bass boost. So there was that. I was asking you purposely awkward bloody question. Like, what frequency is this bass boost at? Oh God, no. That one's variable. You can choose.
Yes.
Exactly where to. Give it some extra thrust.
We also have that on the KX range.
Cool. This, of course, is the CEA 2006 compliant label, meaning this is real power. This is not, hopeful purple throbbing monster nonsense power. I got so excited there, we went steaming past this without even asking how much this was, because it's quite clear I don't have to buy them, I get to borrow them when I want to. The KXA 400.1. That
retails at $289.99.
Wow. And the 600 watts CXA 300.1, did I ask that one as well? I think I might have done.
On the CXA is $169.99.
Ah, so... Oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? It's not as expensive as the 1000 watt peak, but that's about that being able to fit in lots of places. This is an opening gateway to a whole world of new tech. I can see why you'd next want that one up. Because you're thinking, why are they 10 amp? Why do we possibly need that many amps? Well, because of this subharmonic optimizer circuit. And this beast, this high-end one,
$499.99.
So that's a £500 bass amp. I tell you what, though, at a pound a watt, in old money, that's actually keen. That is keen. We used to be well thrilled at a pound a watt. And now a pound a watt is the absolute high-end, super sexy, matte black, satin gorgeousness printed box. Wow. Oh, we'll have to have a little shift of that. Okay. Right, moving onwards to JL Audio now. We've got... what was the amp just on the deck there that we were having a quick look at?
That was the RD501.
And that was... How much is one of them?
$329.99.
Okay, and we've... one thing I failed to show the lovely people when we were opening this thing up is that this top panel over the controls You put the badge on afterwards, so you don't scratch it and install.
It's also if you wanted to invert the amplifier to be the right way around.
Ah, yes. That was one of the problems with the Alpine power densities. You can't invert them. You have to take the whole amplifier apart and completely ruin the warranty.
Yes.
Can't be done. Meanwhile, how many times have you lost nuts and bolts out of amplifier covers? That's a little touch of JL Audio, simple, elegant engineering genius right there. And giving a damn about you, the punter. That's a big slice for the JL store, isn't it? So yes, take us through some of these prices and stuff. So, what would be the entry JL bass amp then?
Well, we have sort of two entry levels because we have our MX range and our JX range. Theoretically, our JX range is our entry level amplifiers.
Yes.
Our MX range is designed as a small application amplifier.
Gotcha. So this is IPX7,
Yep.
water resistant, for small watercraft, motorcycles, UTVs, golf. This is. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be just. But this is an amplifier that you want the lifestyle to go with. Oh my word! Look, do you know, I think I remember seeing these. I was at the CES. There's a whole bunch of pluggy doos, which have got enormously thick plastic armour on, and of course, this here thing. I'm kind of loath to damage packaging. It's one of those things that, as a reviewer, you tend to. Try and avoid, but I'm going to just do that there. Loosen it up and get this thing out. Here we go. Oh damn! It's like Christmas. Solid potted item. There really is very little for you to mess with. And you'd take the panel off the bottom to effect control. Oh man, you can completely flip the polarity if you've screwed up the cable wiring.
Yep.
Awesome. So that's the one for. That's very much the one you'd want to sell to people with the watercraft, like where we've been in the marina there, isn't it? Racks of these tucked away. Ooh, how much is one of them, Governor?
That one retails at £219.99.
So 220 quid
Yeah.
for what is 300 watts of bass.
We do the big brother of that as well, which is the 500 one,
Yes.
which is at £319.99.
Oh, that's keen. So it's double the price, but only up by one, or it's a price structure that people can understand, I guess. Tell us about the JX 500 1D.
Okay, the JX is probably our entry level, which has been going for a good few many years.
Yes.
That we have two in the range for under 500 watts.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the JX 251, which retails at a fantastic £159.99.
Oh, that is keen. That's the price of what used to be horrid little cheapies in the old days. And now you're getting quality product for that money. That's insane. Oh, look at that. That's rather handsome, isn't it? And it's not wanting in features. Remote level control. There's that bass boost. Filter frequency. Oh, mate. Ooh, tell us about that. That's a crossover, I take it.
Yes, yeah.
So obviously for just making sure that it's playing only bass.
Yep.
Check out the size of that power terminal. The amplifier is hand sized. The cable hole is huge. That's for 4 gauge fat wire, isn't it? Nice.
We can take high level again straight into that amplifier via the plug.
Yes.
So we can go high level input on there.
Excellent.
And we do get the option of a bass controller.
Cool. How much is one of them?
That one there, the bass controller, they're roughly about £25.
So it's a worthy investment, as it were. And you did tell me the price of this, did you?
Yeah, that one there retails at £159.99.
Yes, that's keen.
It's so you got the 500 there. Sorry, that's that. The 500 is £249.99. The 250
Yes.
is £159.99.
Is that the same chassis but less power output devices? I take it, yes. So hey, you might get one of these and 2 of them. Well, 2 of that'd be a lovely set of left and rights for some posh speakers.
Yes.
That's just me being extravagant because I do that stuff with other people's equipment. XD300/1 version 2. This is an amp which is so cool that it's in version 2, as in it's had a little evolve.
Yes.
Hang on, squeaky. Here we go. The environmentalist in my soul wonders if JL are going to move towards cardboard, although polystyrene is so superior for protection of kit, and they do go worldwide, don't they? Just makes you wonder, because it's pernicious versus cardboard. But look at this beautiful bit of CNC action going on there, because this panel is being used to cover up the controls there. I'm loving those power connectors. That's monster. Tell me about them.
If you look at the power connectors,
Yes.
it's not a screw which goes into there. It actually brings a plate down, which actually gives a lot better contact to the power cable.
So instead of one little grub screw, it's a great big... It's like a vice.
Exactly. So a vice section, so you get a lot better connection.
Gosh, have they given it a special name?
A better connection connector.
There's no fat on that, unlike me. Wow. So, I was wondering, how could there possibly be so very many? XD300 V2. Tell me about this one. Why does this one exist as a separate thing? This was, how much was one of them? I've got
That
so
one
blinded
retails
with it.
at $319.99.
Whoa! So that's a high-end product.
It is, yes.
That's very small form factor. I mean, that's 300 watts. Now, make no mistake, right? When I started this malarkey and car audio, I had a bunch of T-shirts made with a quote from Mr. Peter Newell on the back, which never got us. He said, "Pure sex on a 12-volt battery," and that was about an amplifier called the Colossus, which was 2 times 300 watts only, and that, in genuine ways, is half of a Colossus, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I just had to come round and find your face because you're smiling like a Cheshire cat, because you wouldn't have actually thought of that. And there it is, the size of my hand. Colossus pure sex on a 12-volt battery by Hyphonics, mighty huge amplifier, enormous size, and this 300 watts, 2 of them, and because it is a JL Audio, you're looking at a peak output of the order of moments of 600 and a bit peak that other manufacturers would call that 1200, wouldn't they? Fact is that I take it it's stable down to quite a low impedance as well.
It'll play
or are
on
they
2
managed?
ohm.
And will it always do 300 watts no matter what the impedance?
No,
Is it a JL
on
thing,
these
or
are, that's only when we use the RIPS technology, which is on the higher amplifiers.
Gotcha.
We use next D switching on this. It's a patented technology of how we do the AC/DC conversion on that.
Which basically is sucking every last watt out of your car's electrical system for the biggest, impressive, and slice of fun for your buck. John, thank you so much. Well, we could play them all to you and they go boom boom down YouTube, but the main thing is you do need to get along to the website and check these things out. The best thing you could possibly do is actually get onto one of your dealers, isn't it? Because you proper look after those guys.
We do. We make sure our dealers are hopefully all fully trained.
Yes.
We run a lot of training courses.
I've got videos of where I went to one local to me.
Yes, yeah. It's not just with JL Audio, but it's also with Kicker.
Yes.
We can do one-on-one training with the dealers. We would like to make sure that they
Really know their stuff.
They really do. They, especially our signature dealers on the JL side,
Yes.
and we have our authorised dealers on the Kicker.
So how many dealers are there on the signature dealers, are there?
I believe there's 11.
11.
I would have to confirm that.
Yes. Cool. So, online website would be...
JLaudio.co.uk.
Fabulous. That's for the jails on the Kicker one. Yes, we'll just look it up. There's an American one in English. I think it's Kicker.
Kicker UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
.com.
Yes.
Yeah. He remembered. Thank you, John. Okay, here we go. Right, we're going directly into motorcycle bypass. We're going into the input of that there amplifier using a 3.5mm to RCA adapter. On account of, I have to tell you, I hope they don't throw me out, but I've just blown up that head unit. I'm sure it was something I did. I'm such an idiot. God. Right, let's play some more music and turn this bass amp on and off. Right, let's just fire up the phone. There we go. Oh, sorry, that crackle is me woggling the thingamajig there. Let's try a bit of acoustic circles. Okay. This is just a bit of guitar music. If I turn this on, I've got the level set fairly carefully so it doesn't over-mod it, but just listen to the richness increase. Could you tell? Perhaps when I turn it off with a bit more level. Back on. Well, you can feel it a little bit with the microphone there, but let's just try that with this chunk of organ music instead. Well, that feels big and fat and rich. you turn the woofer off, it goes a bit gutless. Pop it back on again. This is notoriously difficult to record with the microphone because your ears behave different to microphones. There's that panel. There's the badge that will go on it later. But frankly, we've been playing this rather quietly. I'm going to adjust the input gain a little bit here. Just modding the mic a little bit too much now, but turn it off, you'll really feel it. Crackle. Now, there's folks are going to say that was an absolutely terrible, pointless use of stupid demonstration because everything's compressed through YouTube and you can't hear it anyway. Plus, I'm using a YouTube saved track which is compressed to heck. However, there is an element of being able to see what the heck was going on there with the subwoofer effect. But the main important thing is adding bass to any system will always enhance it. And the guys here at Celsius have got one hell of a choice from affordable through to Just remains for me saying, look, it just remains for me to say a huge thank you to John Griggs and the guys here at Celsius for letting me come and play on their test bencher. Can't take it all home with me, John.
No.